Is it on Brad Stevens to make Kyrie Irving pass the ball? Somewhat, but maybe there needs to be a better realization of who's responsible for what. If no one can understand that, if no one can come to the table and meet in the middle and be like, look, we understand fourth quarter is Kyrie's time, then that's a problem. If they can't figure that out, that's going to be an issue because it is Kyrie's time. That's what he's best at. But Kyrie needs to share a little bit too. It has to be a two-way street, and he has to recognize that. I'm not saying he's selfish, but I am saying that it is a different mode of thinking, and there has to be a lot of flexibility. And at this point, we're 35 games left to go. The fact we're still having this conversation is insane. The healthiness and health, but mostly the happiness of Kyrie Irving is pretty freaking important when you talk about how this team is comprised in 2019, 2020. So even if you want to throw away this year, you need happy Kyrie.
You're talking about
so that
mental
way,
health. You're not even talking about physical health.
I'm not talking about physical.
There's a reason they didn't trade Terry Rozier I mean, part of it's because he's a restricted free agent, but the second part of it is that's the backup plan. They actually like the way this team plays without Kyrie. Do they want that to happen? No. They want to be able to keep Kyrie so that they can get Anthony Davis to sign an extension, and they want to get more and more talent. So we absolutely have to talk about that. But the backup plan isn't so bad. And when I say I don't like this team, I really like the young guys. We talked about this. We're falling in love with the Jaylen Browns and the Jason Tatums and the Terry Roziers, and now Marcus Smart is hitting three-pointers. And there's players on this team that we've really enjoyed that might not be on this team next year, and that's actually becoming a bitter pill to swallow, even though you're getting the best player in return, and it could be great. But I'm at a point where I don't care. Like, I get it. We have to worry about Kyrie's attitudes and all that, but I enjoy watching the young players. I said that's why I was in. You know what I mean? That's why it was entertaining. I like watching them come on the rise. And based on the way they played last year, you can't sit here and say that they're not that far away from being a contending team, especially if you give it another 4 or 5 years. Even if Brown and Tatum and all these guys stay, if they don't trade away one of these max deals, Hayward or Horford, in this move for Anthony Davis, they're going to have trouble re-signing these guys anyway. They might be able to, match a restricted free agent deal depending on how they finagle things. But that's why these people we're going to lose Tatum in the Anthony Davis deal. The more I think about it, the more I realize it's Rozier, it's Brown, it's Tatum, and it's whatever picks we have left, depending on how this all plays out. And that's going to be the deal. And they're going to have said fourth player that they want to sign here after the, based on who's left after all the cuts post-trade deadline. They want to get about $5 million in a 2-year deal so they can make that work. Those numbers get you where you got to go. It's pretty clear to me that's the deal. If you look at the Lakers deal, you definitely would rather have a Rozier actually, I think Smart may be in that deal. Sorry, we need Smart's money. So it's Smart, Rozier, Brown, and Tatum, and then said fourth player, whoever, to fill salary and a bunch of picks. That beats the Lakers deal. That's the one that's probably going to happen, and it makes sense just because how can they re-sign these guys if they keep them anyway? So the backup plan to Kyrie not being happy is see you later. And I'll suffer through that, and I won't be cantankerous if we don't get Kyrie and Davis. I'll actually really enjoy this team, and maybe they'll get their crap together again, and they'll be this fun-loving team, and they'll be like, you know what? Now we have something to really prove.